Okay, hello there everyone. I believe, yeah, that we are live. Hi Dingo, good to see you. Yeah, this will be a long one. This will be a very, very, very long one, so take it easy. Um, you may or may not want to watch. You can see from the description that it's going to be a little long. So grab your waters. Finally, um, ready to go here. Hi Rivers, good to see you. So here today we are going to be discovering all about the DLC Blood Veils in a collected one unique place where you can discover any Blood Veil from the DLC, and we'll run through each and every nuance of each and every Blood Veil and how they pair up and how what blood codes would be available for you. So first of all, the first set we're going to go over is the Strength Blood Veils, and the two of those are going to be the Twilight Claw and the Violet Gear. These two are Strength based Blood Veils, and they gain extreme damage from backstabs and charge drains. So the first one we're going to be running here is Cert. Now I have about, let's see, 25 or about 20 different web browser windows open here. So I'll be switching back and forth between the different builds as we go to make sure that I don't get anything wrong and get any mistakes. So in this area we're going to be running the memories, as there's a lot of group areas here, but there's also a lot of single one-off areas as well. So first things first, we know this area is weak to lightning and ice, so we will be running these two. And as you can see right off the bat, before we even do anything, we are running a 2656 without any kind of buffs or any kind of any additional help here from any of our drain abilities or any of the buffs up. And we will be then pairing up with Jack to do even more damage. So all the weapons and all the veils will definitely be, they're all checked and classed to make sure that you're always in a quick mobility. So if you're interested, the Twilight Claw and the Violet Gear will be traded out simultaneously depending on what you need to go for, but you will always have at least one weapon available which will allow you to be quick or near quick at the later stages when we do the hybrids. Alright Rivers, take it easy. Like I said, this is going to be a long one, so just I wanted to do it kind of live, that way if anybody had any questions as we go, you can feel free to ask. But so far we're going to be running this, and we're going to be running the Argent Wolf Bayonet Devour. So we will go... no, we're not going to run the memories, because this Jack is a garbage can. So we will run... let's see. We'll run the... let's see here. Let's run the parking garage, as that has a couple of group areas and a couple of single one-on-ones. So as we start with the drains, the drain and backstab builds first, because these are all strength based. Neither of these blood veils boast any kind of significant dark or light ability. They do have some, just in the sense that you can use a gift, maybe something like Bloody Impact, to knock people over or something, but there's nothing of interest that can actually do significant damage from these. So in this area we will definitely be going for lightning, and we are lightning slash, which is the weakness of the area. So we'll definitely go for Merciless Reaper, as we won't be using our weapon too much. And we'll go for Adrenaline, or Overdrive, and Offensive Order. and we'll go for a backstab here. And all these guys will be one-shots, and the Angel of Death is going to show us that very well. Oh. Oops. We've lost Merciless Reaper there, so we'll kill this guy. 16,000. Okay, let's go for Strength and Dex, and we'll go for another backstab. And there's almost 17,000. Good. And let's go for Merciless Reaper and Time Crunch. And we don't have any actual consumables that will be running, simply because this is all drain and backstab based. So that was quite a bit. Yeah, I couldn't see the number there. But the Angel of Death is going to give us a great showing here of the damage possible. So there's almost 19,000. So these, and remember this is 26 stars, so we're in the most difficult part of the game. And you know, we are going to be just wrecking enemies left, right, and center as we kind of go through with each of the weapons. Now we're right at the 59, so we'll go for the Argent Wolf Bayonet. But if we go for the Violet Gear, so we're at 3427, and if we switch up to the Violet Gear, we drop about 800. So the Twilight Claw is absolutely overwhelming. But the Violet Gear actually does pretty good as well. I mean, there's almost 11,000. You might be dusting off the rust soon of Code Vein. So let's go for Offensive Order. Now, in the event that we get Jack's Communal active, that also aids in the backstabs and the... oops, we need to switch to our quick weapon here, so let's get a backstab on her. Okay, so there's 12,000, and we don't even have everything ready. Okay, and if we wouldn't have gotten hit there, we would have definitely killed her in that drain attack. So let's go ahead and heal up. Oh, and we have Jack's Communal available. So let's go for these two, and we'll go for this and this, and we'll go for this guy. And that killed him in one Hound's Head. We didn't even need the second Hound's Head. Okay, come on. Okay, good. He's gonna do his. Oh, and we lost a lot of different gifts there. Okay, let's go ahead and heal up. And let's go. That guy we can't hit from over here. Okay, so let's just go for a backstab. Oh. Okay. Can't get the backstabs. So there's a non-buffed version of all the buffs are running out here. But there's 9,000. So let's go for this. Okay, so now we've got 25% plus the ability of Merciless Reaper there. There's a backstab here. Okay, and there's 12,500. Let's go for a drain. Okay. And remember, we don't even have Jack's Communal available yet, or anything like that. So there is build number 1. You can run Cert. So let's switch over here, and build number 2 for the strengths is going to be Fion. And we're going to start out with the Violet Gear again. And we're running a Drain, Ice Blood Devour, and a Pipe, since the Pipe pairs with the Violet Gear. And you can see there at the bottom we have 48 when we're paired with the Pipe, and we're 60 when we're with the Devour, or with the Ice Blood. And if we switch back to the Twilight Claw again, you can see that we're at 49. So we're quick always. Okay, so let's continue here, and now we can go for this and Overdrive and Merciless Reaper, and we can go for this guy with a Drain. And that's 8,100. That's pretty good. She's gonna be interested to come over here. Maybe not. Okay, let's run past her. Okay, and let's go for a backstab on this guy. Jack might be dying over there because he's... Yep. Okay, so that's fine. And, oh. Oh, good grief. Okay, so there's death number 1. So if, but you can see that the power of these veils, for at least the strength-based ones, is definitely not in any kind of gifting. It's in the power of if you can do the backstab or the drain attack. So we'll go ahead and try this again here. So this is just an unbuffed version here of the backstab. Nothing special, and that's 10,458. So that's pretty good. Let's go for strength and dex. Okay. And you only use Merciless Reaper if you're going for actual drain attacks. If you're going for backstabs, you don't need Merciless Reaper. So let's get her. And this should do significant. So 15,000. That's pretty good. And that'll kill 8,300. Good. Okay, so let's go for Cleansing Light. And we'll go for Dogged Fighter. So we have extreme resistance to any kind of attack. And you can see that just as you go, there's 13,000. You just continually get stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger from the backstabs and the charge drains. Okay, let's go for Royal Heart. Okay. Now, if she doesn't hit us here, we can get a backstab and do massive damage to her. So 15,000, and we'll do a drain. There we go. That knocked her down. And we can do about 5,000 on a combo there. So that's pretty good. We can go for red shoes now. And we'll go for Merciless Reaper. So now if we get 20 more Ichor, or 16 more Ichor, we can go for, we can go for Jack's Communal and double our damage. Oops. Okay. And as you can see, we don't care about stagger anymore, simply because we have 2 stagger resistance built into our blood veil here, or into our blood code with Theon, and we can go for many backstabs and charge drains because we have red shoes active, so we don't care about any stamina cost or anything like that. So now we'll go for this guy here, and we'll go for a drain. So there's 20,000. So you can see Jack's Communal is helping us significantly. Let's go ahead and kill this guy. 27,000. Okay. And let's kill this guy here. There we go. So this is going to be a little bit ridiculous going through here. We killed both those guys, 22,000 apiece. Okay. And let's go for Strength and Dex and Cleansing Light. So Theon is kind of ridiculous. These are all really ridiculous. These guys walking over here at 2 frames a second. That's pretty cool. Well, I'd like to get up to the lady on top if we could, and hopefully get a backstab there. So this is the Twilight Claw, and I don't think we can see our 3197. So we lost Fatal Surge, so we're going to have a lot less damage here on her. But we can go for a charge here. Good, 8,300. And let's go for a backstab, as that is where the beauty lies in these veils. Okay, let's go for a charge to finish her off. Good, so 8,300. Okay, so that's a little bit about Theon and how it pairs up. So if Cert was able to run Jack's Communal, we would have had a little bit better time there. Okay, so the next one is Queen's Breath. Queen's Breath. And Queen's Breath, we're gonna run the Violet Gear, and and Queen's Breath gets the Alleviated Pipe. Where's the Alleviated Pipe? And what is this? The Queenslayer Bayonet Devour. Okay, so we'll head on over here and get the Queenslayer Bayonet Devour. Okay, so when we are with the pipe, we are at half weight, so we are at quick mobility. And when we are with the Twilight Claw, we are with quick mobility for. We are at quick mobility for the Queenslayer Bayonet. So it's kind of a pick your poison. You like the hounds, you like the claws, or the piercing of the other veils. So we'll be going through all these. So we're gonna go for the Twilight or the Violet Gear and the pipe here to make sure that we have quick mobility, because you definitely want that 20% damage increase. So let's go do this guy's lost whatever this mission, and so for the Queen's Breath, you have access to Juggernaut, which takes you down in mobility, but it gives you extreme stagger resistance. So it's kind of like a if you get into trouble, you can go ahead and pop that, and you can do some really good damage. So let's go for Willpower of C. Okay, we'll just make it up here to go for our things. There we go, and this, and this, and we'll go for Jack. And this will be a nice demonstration since it's just this one big chunky lady here. Okay, and we'll do one more, and then we'll go back to Dex and Fortitude. Okay, there we go. This, and this, and this, and Iron Will. We'll switch this out for Iron Will. Okay, and if we need Iron Will, we can go for it, but there we go. That was 10,000 from one hound's head, and she should be dead. Nope. Oh, and let's go for a. Oh, okay. So you can see there that these hound's heads, they have extreme damage. So let's head on over here, and we'll go for overdrive, and we'll go for a drain on this guy. We won't go for a. There's 9,000, and that's just one. So I mean we can't even get the second attack before these guys die, which is really great. Okay, so we'll go for Iron Will. We'll heal up and see if you can go for the backstab. And you don't have to worry because we're completely quick all the time, which is great. Okay, so that's 11,500. And with the hound's heads, you get a great knockdown ability. Jack, thanks. Oh. And so you can do massive damage all the time, no matter what. I mean, we're always going to be hitting for around 8,000 or more on every strike of every kind of weapon we do. And if we switch to the Twilight Claw, again, we will be at 2482 with no buffs here. So we'll go for an overdrive, and we'll go for a backstab. And that was 13,000 on that guy. So I mean, we're just in the bonkers numbers here with these. And again, we're quick because we're all paired up correctly here with our weight class and everything. So if you are trying to go for the DLC Blood Veils, these many codes and everything that we've set up here, I hope that can get you started down the right track to understanding how each of these work. And the reason that these are getting such an extremely high drain attack is because Bandai changed the modifiers for all the DLC blood codes to when they're paired with an element chrome, you can get extreme damage out of the drain attacks. So you can see here, if we switch to an intensified, we're at 1769. If we're at a fortified, we're at 1809. And if we change to some of the other blood, or some of the other claws, we don't have as high of damage. So that's what they gave us from, you know, the DLC blood codes. Now you can see here for the Dust Garb, it's at 1419, and the Sanguine Garb Fortified is 1200, and the regular Silver Garb is 1177. So it's only about a 250, about a 240, 250 point increase on the drain attack. But for the Twilight Claw, especially if we go for this, it's about 700, 650, 700 drain attack increase on the damage output. So it's just absolutely crazy. Okay, so let's go for Jack's Communal, and we'll see how we do against Chunky Lady here. And we'll go for Overdrive. Now this is just 2 buffs. Now you kind of need Jack or Louis. Whoops. That was dumb. I was distracted. And so, 22,500? Yeah, so it's a little ridiculous. Now you compare this up with Louis, but you also run the risk of getting hit and losing half of your buffs, since you'll lose 2 stacks of Overdrive. So I'll show you Louis here, and the difference in damage that he does. But it's important that when you're paired with Louis, you don't get hit like I did on that last one. That's the benefit of having Jack. Of having Jack over Louis. Okay, let's use an Ichor Concentrate so I can go for Overdrive, and we'll see here what we get. Come on. Okay. Okay. And can I get a backstab? There we go. Okay. So now, 26,145. So it's a little bit more than Jack, but, you know, that's fine. You know, and for these guys, 26,000 is going to be just 23,000, whatever it is. It's just going to be over the top, stupid. So, yeah, it just doesn't really matter. And let's go for a drain. So 13,000 for that guy. And 15,000 for that guy, because Louis was hitting him. So you can see here that it, you know, pairing up with Louis, just, you know, it's the same as Jack. You just don't want to get hit. That's the only problem. So Reckless Abandon, as it changes the sparkles of your character there, you can see that it makes you dodging very, very quick. However, it doesn't change the mobility of your character. It's still whatever the mobility is listed on the card. As you see here, we have quick on both. They still remain quick, but our movement speed is just a little bit different. So if we go back to the Violet gear here, and we'll switch back to the pipe, we'll go ahead and backstab this guy with no buffs, no nothing. Oh, we have Louis' stack of Overdrive there, so we can get a couple of backstabs here. And you can see that you know, we're constantly hitting into the you know, thousands and thousands and thousands range of our damage. Okay. And there we go. We broke that guy's guard, and we knocked him down, and we killed him and the dog behind him all in one. And we didn't even have Merciless Reaper active. So let's go for a Merciless Reaper. And let's go ahead and just drain these guys down. Okay. Now these guys are just flying all over the place because they're getting killed too quickly. Okay. And we'll backstab this ninja guy before we die. And where's Louis? Okay. Whoops. We lost Merciless Reaper there. So the Angel of Death is definitely holding up her end of the bargain here. Okay. So good. And remember that this veil is a slash veil. So you're able to do slash damage We don't yet have a crush veil, so no crush abilities take place here. Okay, so we're gonna have to dodge on out of here. Okay, and this guy, let's see here. We'll go for a drain on him, and we'll just knock his guard over, and it won't even matter. Okay, so that's Queen's Breath, and let's move on to the next one here, which is Ishtar. Ishtar, and we'll switch back to the Twilight Claw, and we're running the Devour pipe paired up with the Riot Breaker Alleviated. So this will also, again, remember that everything here will be guaranteed quick, or in the event that towards the end that we don't have the ability to get quick mobility, I'll have an answer for that and a remedy for that as well. So this is going to be the Ishtar build. Everything kind of looks the same and similar. So if you're running with the Violet gear, you're going to see here that we're at 48 with the pipe, and if you're running the Twilight Claw, you're at 49.6 with the Riot Breaker. So you have again, you have both abilities here to get damage. But now that we are Ishtar, we have a Fortitude of S, which allows us access to Offensive Order, which also boosts drain attacks and backstabs and the like. So since the strength veils are all about drain attacks and backstabs, we're going to be going for these. And because we have an extreme amount of Ichor at the beginning here, we can do some massive damage. Oops. Until we get hit and lose both of our damage buffs. And there's 12,485 without Louis, and my bonus damage there. So let's go ahead and heal back up. And let's see over here with the ninja guy, we'll get a backstab on him, and we'll see what we do. Now this will kill, but how much? So 18,435. Now let's go for a drain. Whoops. Okay. Okay. And we'll go for a drain on this guy. There we go. 10,243. That's not bad. Okay, let's go for Merciless Reaper. Okay, good. Yeah, you do that, and I'll go ahead and kill you. 12,000. That's good. And we have Serene Stance, just in the event that we need to get a bunch of stamina back, because we're going for charge drains. And if we, in the event that we go for a charge drain and we miss out, and we, whoops. Okay, a lot of mess ups there, but that's okay. Okay, and here's a backstab, which will kill. Okay, so a little bit of an issue there, but not a problem. And since we have a lot of Ichor and all of our buffs up also affect our gun, we can go ahead and shoot the dogs. Okay. And we do pretty good damage to the dogs as well. It's not incredibly, a lot, but the combo attack between the Riot Breaker and the Twilight Claw is really, really powerful. Okay, so let's go ahead and switch up to the Violet gear, and we'll switch to the pipe, and we'll see how the damage is for the Violet gear. Okay, and let's go for a drain first. We'll see what damage we do. So 6228, so that's doubled, so it's around 13,000 again. So 7,400 on these guys. There he is. Let's go for strength and dex. Oh, and he's gonna kill. Okay, and then we need to go for the invasion here, and we'll go for a couple. Oops. Now that's a great kind of AoE ability there of the hounds to strike through many enemies all at once. Okay, so let's go for gift extension, get some more time out of our stuff. Where's the guys? Oh, here they are. Oops. I know, Louis. Oops. Okay. I can't find the guys, and this stupid dog is running around everywhere. Okay. Let's go ahead and kill some guys here. There we go. And let's go ahead and heal up. And let's go for the charge. Let's go ahead and heal again. Oh my goodness. Oh, who's over here? Let's go for a launch and kill this guy. Oh, come on, you stupid dog. I hate the dogs. Okay, there we go. And let's go for offensive order. Now that reduces our defensive abilities. Oh boy. Yep, we're dead. Oh. Okay, we gotta back up here and heal. This guy's probably gonna kill us. Let's get a launch on him. Good. Okay. Good, good, good. Okay, and Louis must have killed the other guy. And we made our way back here. Now the violet gear is good because it has really, really high defenses as well, and that's a good offset for the violet gear. Since you're going down in defense from offensive order, the violet gear can keep you fairly high defenses. You can see here on the violet gear that we're at 44, 50, 47, and if we pop offensive order, we go down about 15 in every category. Let's drink some water. Okay, that's good because it's going to be quite a long one. Okay, so let's go up here and see how Ishtar does versus the chunky lady, and we'll go for Louis' communal, and we'll see how we do versus her. Okay. Oop. There's the backstab. Okay, let's see what our number is here. 23,000. That's pretty good. And the charge drain, because we have Heroic Fang, which is a 30% increase, and Sharpened Fangs, which is an additive increase for backstabs. We're just doing really, 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 really good damage to these guys. Hello. Okay. I couldn't get around him for whatever reason. And Louis, because we're buffed so high with overdrives and his communal and everything, he gets massive damage also, so he's able to help us considerably. So let's go for a drain here. All I need is one Hound Head to hit the guy. Okay, we'll kill him with a combo drain. Okay, and he dropped some items here. We'll go for this guy over here. Okay, and you can see that we typically don't have any kind of I-core problems, simply because we're always doing drain attacks and backstabs, and we don't get an incredible amount of I-core back on our backstabs. We're only getting about 5 on a backstab or so with the violet gear, and we're only getting how much here? We're only getting 4.5 with the Twilight Claw, but the damage that we deal based from these two blood veils is second to none. Okay, so that's a little bit about Ishtar there, and let's look at the next one here, which is going to be Hades, and we'll switch back to Jack. So the Louis communal Reckless Abandon allows you that dash ability no matter what your weight class is, so it's a good time to make sure that that if you're having problems with weight and everything, then you can pick that up a little bit differently with Louis, as opposed to doing something like Jack. Okay, so now we need the Sunset Bayonet Alleviated, and we need the Ice Blood Devour. Oops. Ice Blood Devour. Okay, and so this is the Hades build. Everything kind of looks and feels the same a little bit every now and then. So the Ice Blood is for the Twilight Claw, And if we switch to the violet gear, you'll notice that we're at 49.4, so we're right at the 50-pound mark, right under the 50-pound mark for quick mobility on weapon number 2 there. So you just need to remember the pairings of the weapons. Okay, so let's go for overdrive and strength and dex, somatic zeal, and time crunch. Now you'll notice that we don't have access to offensive order, but again, does it really matter? I mean, we're doing, 15,000 on a backstab, or 16,000 on a backstab. What is that? Yeah, 15,500. And we'll go for cleansing light, just in the event we get hit. And see, we don't have Louis' other stack of overdrive for doing regular adventuring. And we don't have Louis, period, so we have Jack. So there's never any telling what Jack will do, or if he will help you, or if he will not help you or revive you. So Jack is kind of an interesting one. So there's 7,500. Oh, Jack. Okay, we'll get the backstab on this guy. Okay, very good. Okay, very good. Alright, okay. And, alright, so let's, that's these guys, and we'll go for morale boost and Merciless Reaper. Now, Merciless Reaper does work with charge drains. Like if we can hit this guy from here. Oh, no, we were almost there. So on the charge drain, it reduces the enemy's defenses by 75%. Okay, and oops, we missed this guy. But we can combo attack him. There we go. And where's this guy? We'll get a backstab on this guy. Now you can see again that all. Whoop, okay, so there's a hit. All the backstabs that we're going to be running. Here's they just completely obliterate all the enemies. There's no chance when you're adventuring that the enemies can even have any kind of a chance to do anything. So let's go for Jack's Communal. And it's just going to get out of hand here. Okay, and we'll go for this guy. Whoop. Okay. And there's the backstab, and what's the number? 22,000. Okay. And yeah, 22,000. So let's go for overdrive. And let's go for another backstab here if we can find one.
Don't forget to watch the shadows.
Okay, and yes, we can go for this guy. Okay, well that'll just kill him at 10,000 there. That's good. Oh, come on. Oh. Let's go for a launch. And again, there's another 17,000. And here's this guy. So again, you still definitely need to play well. You don't get any free lunch from any of these builds. The Veils are pretty decent for their defenses and such, but their real power shines in the power of the backstabs. And I just kind of wanted to display all this in one place. So here's the Sunset Bayonet. We'll run up this way again. And the reason this is very good is because there's so many blood veils in the game, or blood codes in the game, and how do you use each one effectively and efficiently? Well, this is a great way to go about. And see this guy, she's fairly resistant to pierce, but in the event that we don't want to get up in her face for whatever reason, we can just go ahead and shoot her down from a distance. Okay, so let's go ahead and dash over here. And again, remember, you're always going to be quick mobility with these builds, so it's a great way to learn how to dodge effectively, which apparently I'm not the master of any kind of dodging, so I'm still learning. Okay, and we'll go for a combo just to knock this guy down so we can go into regular drain, and we'll kill that guy. Okay, so let's head on back this way, and we'll go for some dogs and see how annoying they are with the violet gear, and if the damage makes a difference. So we can switch then to the Pheon Chrome version, the ice version, and our drains and backstabs all stay the same with any element chrome, but the damage is based on the enemy and their weakness. So there's 12,500. And we'll go for Jack's Communal here for the next area. Okay. And let's see the dogs. Come on. Oh, good grief. Now the dogs I just hate. There we go. Jack is still working on that guy over there. And I'm still working on the dogs. Okay. So they don't do real well versus the dogs because we'll definitely need time crunch available. Jack thinks it's a waste of time. I happen to agree with him. But, you know, this is what it is. So a little bit about what's going on here is that why I'm doing this is that one of the, I believe a new person, Dan, asked if I could do any kind of topic on the blood veils and what are they good for and why you would use them and everything like that. So I wanted to kind of put it all in one place as I've talked about these things kind of sporadically here and there throughout the channel, but I wanted to give it all in one place here. Always go for the ninja guy. And we are also getting a pretty diverse group who's watching here. So I thank you all for that. You're from all over the world. You're all around the world. It's pretty incredible to me. And we also are just getting a whole bunch of people from a whole bunch of different places. So that so there's a huge, massive damage attack for three guys to kill at once. Okay, so as you can see, Jack's Communal allows us and affords us extreme damage above and beyond what the blood veils are even supposed to be doing. So let's go for a drain. And we'll go for a drain. And because I'm a little bit sensitive to all things girls these days, apparently we've started having a female following here on the channel as well. So thank you to all the ladies out there. I don't know who knows and what they know, but my daughter was born just recently, and so I'm partial to those kinds of things these days, as it's my first daughter. So yeah, it's really exciting for me. So welcome to all the ladies out there to the channel, and as you can see, she's a little bit strong to the ice damage that we have running here. So if we go back to the lightning, okay, and we'll kill the dogs because our blood veil changed up, and we also have Jack's Communal active. Okay. And we'll go for Merciless Reaper as well. And we'll try and just go for drain attacks now since we have Time Crunch active. And it doesn't matter because everybody will just die in one hit. There we go. And this guy's giving us a nice stare down. Okay, so that's a little bit about the Hades build. And again, these are all mainly for adventuring. If you feel so inclined, you can take these to different bosses based on weapon type and element type, and you can also burst down bosses fairly quick with this. We did one with the butterfly, we did one with the wolf berserker, and you can see all those in the speed kills, and also I believe the drain discussion playthrough in the Road to 100 was I believe it was like 41 or something like that. 40. It was around in the 40s was when we did the playthrough of the drain attacks. Definitely get some more water. Okay, and the last one of the strength builds is going to be Prometheus. Uh, you might not have expected that one unless you read the description. So again, we have here the Twilight Claw paired up with Prometheus, and the reason this is important is because you have Strength and Dex both at A, and our Drain attack again is at 2400, so it's just off the crazy here. And for Prometheus, we need to be going for the Black Bayonet, Alleviated, and the Sunset Alleviated, I believe. Or, the Brodea Alleviated. Sorry, I'm flipping back and forth here. Okay, so now when we're with either one, we are quick, and when we are with the what is this? The Violet gear, we are quick with the Brodea. So the Twilight Claw is for the Black Bayonet. So there's the Black Bayonet. It's like a mini Libertador. Okay, so this is the going to be the last of the strength builds, and we will. So if you are interested in Prometheus, it does have Blade Dance, and it does have Eternal Blade Dance. However, the two of these are an enhanced version, and it increases attack power. Now that is for your weapon strikes, for Blade Dance. And so if you're doing weapon strikes, then you can get extra damage for your weapon strikes, but not for doing backstabs and drains. So it doesn't have any effect on your drain attacks and backstabs, which is really unfortunate. Okay, and let's go for a drain. And it knocks her down, that's good. And 8,000 on a drain is pretty good, as it has a lower multiplier than a backstab, so that's really good. And again, we have quick mobility, and we're at 13,000, and we don't even have Louis' communal active, or sorry, Jack. Okay, I took the hit on just kind of as a gamble, but it didn't land before that guy landed his attack. Okay, so let's go for a drain here, and that almost kills. If we have overdrive active, then it would kill in one shot. Now backstab, it definitely kills in one shot on these guys. And let's go for overdrive. So Prometheus is kind of an unlikely candidate, as it boasts really high dex, but it can also be a great strength building tool. Okay, let's go for Merciless Reaper, since we want to go for some drains maybe, if I can get back there. Okay, let's go for a combo, and we lost Merciless Reaper since we landed an attack. Let's go up around this guy, and we will switch to the Violet gear next after this fella right here. There we go. Okay, so we're hitting in consistently in the 13,000 range. Now if we go for Jack's Communal, we double that up. Oops. I thought I dodged there at the right time, but apparently I didn't. See, and we're only getting about 4 or 5 I-core back on a backstab, so it's not terribly good. Okay, but when you're killing enemies in one shot anyways, it doesn't really matter.
That's a good idea.
Okay. Yep, good idea. And let's go for this guy. Okay, let's go for a drain attack. And since we just kill in one shot anyways, we can just continually annihilate these enemies. There we go. And this guy is gonna... Oh, I thought the focus gauge hadn't run out yet, but apparently it did. So there's 10,000. And again, if we pair up with Jack, that's going to do massive damage. So there's 10,500. Okay, who else is around here? This guy. Let's see the combo. Doesn't quite kill. About 5,000 damage, but that's okay. So this is also interesting because the farther in to the game you get, you will notice enemies have more and more health and more damage to be able to take them down. But this is just a showing for this area. And we'll get a drain. Okay. So Prometheus, it does pretty well. It is definitely one of the lowest of the group with the violet gear active. Now you'll see in the description for all of the blood veils, they all have the Pheon Chrome attached to them. That's not because of you need to use Pheon Chromes attached to them. You need to use whatever element type the enemies in the area that you're against are weak to. And since this area is weak to lightning slash, these blood veils and elements do extremely well. See, and we're doing 10,000 straight up, no buffs included. And we'll see what Jack's communal affords us here for the violet gear coming up after this guy and after the dogs. Now we can shoot because we have a Brodea, so we can get some extra damage on the dogs or other people. At distance. So that's also really helpful. Okay, so let's go for Jack, and then we'll go for Strength and Dex up, Somatic Zeal. And we have Morale Boost as well, so if we get to the point where we're running out of stamina and we have the Ichor for it, then we can definitely go and fill up our stamina gauge again, as Jack has that as well. And it gives us a crazy amount of stamina. Okay, let's see our damage here. 20,000. Okay. And we'll go backstab on this guy. See what the damage number is here. 25,000. Okay, it's getting out of hand here. There we go, 21,000. And let's go for gift extension. And let's go for a drain. So it's 93.51, so that would be 19,000 about on a backstab. Since it's about half, since it would be that on a drain, because we only hit with only one of the hound's heads. Okay, so we'll get this guy, and then we'll go for this guy over here. Now, if you're good at getting the backstabs, these veils wreck. They just completely annihilate, as you've seen here, as we've kind of gone through. And they just do obscene amounts of damage, but you definitely got to have all your P's and Q's dotted to make sure that you can get those backstabs to be killing the enemy on those points. Okay, so that's those are the strength veils, and six blood codes that can make great use of strength scaling and doing just obscene amounts of damage from backstabs and drain attacks. Okay, so the next set here, we'll get rid of this tab, and we're going to go, oh, I guess I need to close that browser. Okay, we'll do this one, and we'll move it up to here. Okay, so the next set we're going to be going for will be the the Dexterity blood veils. So those two are going to be, and the first one we're going to be going for is Queen's Claw and Graceful Prominence. And the second one, so the two Dex builds, the Dex blood veils from the DLCs are the Bewitching Thorn here, and the Graceful Prominence. So again, it doesn't matter what this card here says about the veil. It matters what this card here says, your actual main stats page. So what we have equipped is the Graceful Prominence, 2298, and the Bewitching Thorn is a little bit less, about 400 less, but it's still really high for a Thorn veil. So if we go to something like the Judgment Spur, it's double the damage, and here it's about 60% of the damage. So yeah, it's just crazy. And here's 1141, 1438. So it's 400 more than a Medican Shawl or the Prayer Shawl, which you find in the Howling Pit. And for the Snowy Elegance or the Ivory Grace, you can see here that your charge drains are just pitiful. Now the Master Spines is on the same lines here as the Bewitching Thorn, but it's a hybrid as it pairs with Dark and Drain, so that's a little bit later on tonight. And you can see here for the Night Thorn, for the Night Thorn, Drain attack's pretty high, 1550, but again, you're getting nowhere close to the 1865, and this only goes much higher with all these crazy things here. So for the Queen's Claw, we need a pipe, a Devour pipe, and we need a Devour Ice Blood. Okay, so for the Graceful Prominence, we are quick when we are paired with the pipe, right at 39 pounds. There's nothing in the game that can get you to 6 pounds. The alleviated Sunset Bayonet gets you to 6.4. So you can see there that we are right over the weight limit of 40 pounds by 0.4 pounds. So you can't use the alleviated Sunset Bayonet, unfortunately. Okay, let's drink some water. Oh, okay. So we have to use the pipe with the Graceful Prominence, and we have to use the Bewitching Thorn with the bayonet, or with the Ice Blood. And you can see here that we're quick with the Ice Blood right at 40 pounds. So that's how you pair these two. So we'll go back to the Graceful Prominence. We'll go ahead and heal back up. And same thing applies as the strength builds. This time though, we are going for the stinger type veils. So spines and tails. Oops. Scrolling there a little bit prematurely. And let's get a backstab and let's put her down. So 30,000. There you go. That is a one-shot on her. So she's weak to pierce, as you can tell clearly. That guy was 27,000 something. And let's go for a drain. It was like 18,000 something. I don't know. The Graceful Prominence is absolutely bonkers, crazy overpowered for these kinds of options. Now this guy has his shield up. Okay, so we broke his guard and did 17,000, and we didn't even have Merciless Reaper active, which will give us a crazy ton more damage. Hey, buddy. Okay. Oh. And because we have Royal Heart active, we didn't take any stagger damage there. I mean, we took damage, but we didn't get staggered, so it's 11,000 on with no buffs. Okay, let's head on over to this guy. Okay, let's go for a backstab here. Now I want to get a, there's 13,000 at 14,000. I want to get Merciless Reaper active. Okay. There's 9,000. That's really good. Especially if he's going to be weak to pierce. And let's kill him. There's 8,000. Oh, there's a guy creeping over here. He's throwing knives everywhere. Okay. So there we go. And if we pair up with Jack again, we're going to do just crazy bonkers more damage. So let's go for some backstabs. Oops. If we can. There we go. So the, that's just crazy. The Graceful Prominence is one of the strongest backstabbing, if not the strongest backstabbing veil in the game, especially when it's paired up against the weaknesses of the enemy, as you saw on that large, healthy lady at the beginning there. Okay, so let's go ahead and power up again, and we'll go for Merciless Reaper. And The nice thing about the Graceful Prominence is we have distance, so that's really, really great. Okay, he's going to run over here. So if you can line people up as well, you can actually kill multiple enemies in a line. Oh, come on. There we go. So yeah, the Graceful Prominence, it's one of my favorites for doing drain or backstab kills. As you saw there on the healthy lady at the top of at the ramp there, we put her down in one shot, just completely annihilated her. Okay, so let's go for the Bewitching Thorn, and we'll see how this operates, as we will have the ability to do it at range if we can go for it. And here she comes. Okay, and we can kind of set traps for her, so that's pretty good. 10,000 for that drain attack there. Let's get a backstab, and let's see the number here as she goes up. 25,000. So you can see that I'm rounding everything, by the way, as well. So I sort of can count, but sometimes I can't see the screen. But yes, I am. But you can see that like the numbers are just crazy over the top here. Now in these kinds of scenarios where the enemies are tracking you, 22,000. You know, you definitely want to go for a backstab rather than a charge, because a charge, as you can see, I mean, it still does great damage, but you have to kind of know where the enemy is, and you're stuck in the animation a lot. So there's 9,500. That's really good on a drain from distance like this. And Jack's Communal is going to run out, and now we don't have the damage, but it almost kills anyways, so that's really good. So you can see that Jack's Communal is well worth its weight in gold here, as we continue to drain and kill the enemies at a distance here. Now let's see if we can hit this fella over here. Yep, we sure can. We'll go for this and Crushing Might, I believe it's called. Okay. Oh, come on. Oh well. We took the hit, but who cares? Let's go for Jack's Communal again. And this is great because we know this guy's around the corner here. Oop, if I can get the thingy over there. Excuse me. Okay, so we can run over here, and we know that guy's here, so we'll go for a backstab on him. And we don't want to lose Merciless Reaper if we don't have to. So 18,000 on that backstab. That was really good. Let's head on over here. Oh, took the hit. Oh well. But it's nice that we can go for the backstab anyway, because we have Royal Heart active, and we can, you know, go right through the enemy, pretty much. Okay. And we... Okay. So this is where you can, if this guy doesn't focus us, okay, or if he's just going to throw knives. See, now his daggers do crazy amounts of damage, whereas my daggers do like, oops, I thought that was going to hit me. Okay. There we go. So if you enjoy the Ivy Spines, you know, this can be definitely useful if you know where the enemy is, and you know what they're packing, and you know how far the distance is of the drain of the veil and everything. You can definitely make great use of this. So 4,000, it's not incredibly terribly a lot, but these guys are strong to pierce, but we can go for backstab to overcompensate for the damage ability. Okay, so we'll go for a charge, time crunch, and we know that if we stand here, we can go for this guy. So the Angel of Death is definitely dealing out the death today, and she's giving us a pretty good showing until there. Okay, Well, thanks, Jack. You know, famous last words with me. It's always something. Okay. And we can just use our Ice Blood to slash the enemy as well. However, you know, it's not as effective as our Blood Veils, since that's what this is all about. The next episode, I will, whenever that happens, I will go over all the weapons from the DLC and any kind of interest. If there's any interest in that, I can go for that as well. Okay, so that was Dex number 1, and the next Dex is Heimdall. Heimdall, and we'll go back to the Graceful Prominence, and we go for the Blazing Claw Devour and the Ice Blood Devour. So these are our 2 weapons that we're going to be running here. So you can see that the Ice Blood is used with the Graceful Prominence, and the Blazing Claw is used with the Bewitching Thorn. So we saw the Ice Blood and the Graceful Prominence, so let's go for the Blazing Claw and the Bewitching Thorn. Okay, and see, again, we're still quick. Now this is a build. You'll notice again that the blood code has a Fortitude and S from Dex and Fortitude up. So we're at 1972. So we're a little bit higher than what we were with Queen's Claw. And if we can get Fatal Surge paired with Sacrificial Edge, with Overdrive and Offensive Order, the damage just actually let's just go for it. Let's see what we get here. Overdrive, Offensive Order, and we'll go for Gift Extension. We'll go for this, and whatever we get here out of Sacrificial Edge, you know, we can't go for Jack's Communal until we get to 20 Ichor. So we'll go for a backstab on her. 21,000. And the combo does pretty well. Okay. So now we know that these guys are over here. So we can get these to go around. I have no idea where it's at. I think I hit someone. I think I heard him die. Yep, that guy died. Okay, and that was a combo, and that killed him. That's great. Okay, and we're gonna have to heal here. And we'll go for a drain on this guy. I don't know where he's going. You don't want to go over there, buddy. Okay, so definitely a powerhouse. Now we have Jack's Communal available. So now we're gonna be doing a little bit more damage. Let's see what the number is on this guy. Remember, these guys resist Pierce, but 13,000 on this guy. That's pretty good. Let's go for a Merciless Reaper, and we'll heal. Okay, and then we'll go for this fella over here, if we can reach. Oh, I don't know if we can reach. There we go, 10,000. So we lost the 25% from overdrive, but that's okay. Okay, we'll just slash him down, as we have tons of damage anyways. Oops. Thanks, Jack. Okay. And we'll go for overdrive. Now, Offensive Order, it really takes down your defenses. But who's hitting me? Oh, there's 3 guys? Okay. Let's go ahead and heal. That's a good advice, Jack. Okay. And this guy is going to come over here, so if we can get our Blood Veil out, maybe these guys will walk over into the trap. Somebody did. That's good. Now, if I could parry, this would actually be pretty overwhelming for the enemy, as you can parry everything and you would be getting basically the same ability of the drain attacks and the launch attacks and everything. So that can be very good as well. Okay, let's get a launch on this guy. So there you go. These kill even with no buff available to us, which is really great. Oh, this guy saw us. I don't know how. I don't know how he saw us and he didn't see us last time. So we'll kill him. 6,600, that's pretty good. Okay, and we'll head on over to this guy. And because of offensive order, we get, you know, really, really good damage as compared to what we were doing last time. And let's go for a backstab, and this should kill. Absolutely, 13,000. Oh yeah. Okay, so that's the Bewitching Thorn and Heimdall. Let's see how the Graceful Prominence pairs up. Now again, remember we're just going through the Dex codes here, and we're about an hour and 15 minutes in. So you know, if you need to go to the bathroom or get some water or something, we're gonna be here for a little bit. Okay. And we'll see how it does here versus dogs. And we'll go for these two, and we'll see how we do on a backstab here. Now remember, this is a Graceful Prominence, so everything's going to be in the you know 10, 15, 20,000 range for every enemy. Oops. And we don't need to be doing backstabs on these guys, but we can. Just to make sure that we put them down. Now those stupid dogs are going to be a problem, so we'll just go ahead and slash them down. And that is where this actually becomes very, very useful, is that you can, you know, kill enemies at distance or right in front of you or any other way. So there's 14,000. And let's see here what this, so there's 24,000. Okay, and let's go for a backstab on this guy. Oh, we missed, and I got hit with a bomb. Okay, I don't know where this guy is. Oh, he's right there. And Sacrificial Edge is now over because we died there, but couldn't see into the corner. Okay, so now let's go for Jack. And we don't have Overdrive or Sacrificial Edge, but we can do a Drain. So that's 15,000. That's very, very good. And let's go for a backstab. Let's see what our number is here. 26,000. Okay. And let's go for more damage. Okay. And let's go for a backstab on this guy. So there's 30-something thousand. Okay. And if we get... Oops. No. I need to backstab this guy. And if we backstab him, and we go for Sacrificial Edge, let's go ahead and heal. And let's go for a Drain on this guy. There's 23,000. Remember, he's resisting Pierce. And we just one-shot these guys. And let's go for the crazy lady over here real quick and see what we do on her. If we can do over 30,000. 37,000. So yeah, it does really, really well. Let's go ahead and heal. And we'll just hack and slash the dogs down. There we go. There we go. Oh. There we go. And let's go ahead and heal our last one. And let's see see what a Drain gets us here on this guy. Nice, 21,000. Yeah. So we have a little bit of damage that we can go. Okay, so that's a little bit about the Graceful Prominence and how it pairs with Heimdall. Okay, let's move on to the next one. The next one is Achilles, which is also a DLC blood code. Okay, so Achilles, and we're going to run the Graceful Prominence, and then we run the Fortified Sunset Bayonet and the Hanamakuro Devour. Okay, so again, the Graceful Prominence is to be paired with the Sunset Bayonet, and the Bewitching Thorn is to be paired with the Hanamakuro which is 55 out of 56. So we'll go for the Hanamakuro first, since we just saw the other one. And let's see how Achilles does. And we get access to both overdrive and offensive order as well. So let's see how we do here. Okay, so 16,000. That's pretty good on a backstab. Hi Peaky, welcome to the crazy long stream here that we're going to be running. We're investigating all of the DLC blood codes and, all the DLC veils. And currently we're on the Dexterity build. So feel free to ask any questions. We went over the strength builds already. You can find those in the description. Whoops. And this guy. So you can see that we don't kill on a drain at distance with this blood veil, but we definitely do significant damage. We'll kill that guy. Now we have Serene Stance also employed, just to make sure that we can get our stamina back on the event that we're trying to do charge drains, and we can't get enough stamina back quickly enough. So let's go for concentration, as that allows us to do multiple charge drains and not use too terribly a lot of stamina. Okay, let's go ahead and heal. Okay. And we'll get a backstab and this will kill. So, alright. And now we get Jack, which is good. So we'll see how the Bewitching Thorn does. Now again, all of these blood veils, the reason that they're doing all this amount of damage as compared to the regular blood veils is simply because of the element chromes attached to them. So just don't ever discount that. That is what the DLCs brought us from Bandai, paired up with whoops. Okay, let's go for a launch. So 16,000 on a launch. That's really good. Oh, come on. Oh, good. Oh no, a double attack. So there's death number 2 of the evening, or of the day, or whatever. Let's drink a little bit of water. So you can see that the adventuring aspect of the blood veils is really, 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 really powerful. So let's go ahead and switch to the Graceful Prominence, and we need to switch to the bayonet here.
That's a good idea.
And we'll go for this fine specimen here, and we'll go for the backstab here. There we go. Now again, when you're running the dex and the dex and the strength builds, you have to go for backstabs or drain attacks. If you're doing something different, that's kind of on you. That's fine that you can do that, but there's no reason to really do that when there's so much damage left on the table here from doing the backstabs and the drains, and it definitely got people talking, because the whole community just basically hates the DLCs, and this is, I believe, why, because it's just such a it's definitely not any kind of novice play at all. You definitely got to know about enemy defenses, enemy elements, enemy damage types. So I don't know, maybe if Bandai would have said, like, change up your strategy with the new DLCs or something like that, then people maybe would have taken notice that, oh, I can't just do the same old thing that I've been doing and expect them to be exactly the same. So I don't know, let's go for a charge on this guy. So 18,000, that's really, really good.
Let them push you back.
Okay, let's go for some attacks here, and our attacks are also really good. Whoops. See, as soon as you miss the backstab, you kind of are out of options, and you lose out on tons and tons and tons of damage. Okay, let's go for the backstab here. There we go. Good. 23,000 something. There we go.
Nice.
Okay. So let's go ahead and... Oh, we can't heal
Surprisingly well.
until we get rid of Fatal Surge. So we'll go for another backstab. And remember, these guys resist Pierce. They are weak to slash. Oh, come on. So it's great that, you know, you can get all of the DLC Blood Veils before you go anywhere in the game when you're playing regular game mode. So you can have access to all of these before you even start adventuring into the game. As soon as you get to home base, you can go to the little green circle, or the little green dot on the ground, and you can go to the DLC and you can pick up all of the items and all the weapons and all the blood veils and everything. So this can be something that you can have access to extremely early in the game, now that they made that available from home base. So you can see that when we're running here Achilles, we have extreme damage output. However, we have extreme damage taken from offensive order, reducing our defenses, as well as we can't heal except with regen inducers when we're running with Jack. Okay, so that was Achilles. Let's move on to the next one, which is Queenslayer. And oops. So there's 3 overlaps between what I'm doing tonight, and Queenslayer is one of them. The other 2 are Hephaestus and Queen's Claw. So as we get to those, I'll have to switch it up, and I'll have to take a little bit of time there. So then with Queenslayer, we want to go for an alleviated Inferno Blade, and we want to go for an alleviated Libertador. Okay, so again, the Libertador is paired up with the Graceful Prominence for exactly half at 50 on our weight class, and the Inferno Blade is paired up with the Bewitching Thorn at 49.4. So again, confirming that we are always in quick mobility with every single one of these builds that I put together in the description here. So we'll run the Bewitching Thorn and the Inferno Blade first. Whoops, we're at 14. We definitely want to be at 20. And now Queenslayer gives us access to a whole bunch of things here and a whole bunch of opportunities that if we go for the Graceful Prominence, we can absolutely boss with this. If the boss is weak to Pierce, somebody like Oliver is weak to Pierce, Fire, Lightning, so he would be a great opportunist to go ahead and run something like this against. And you can also run Final Journey, as that increases the drain attacks by 50% as well. It's multiplicative with the drain attacks, which is excellent. So now we'll go for this lady. There we go. And we'll go for a backstab on her and see how Queenslayer does. So 12,640. Let's go for another one. So that's pretty good damage. So when we're paired with Jack, we'll be doing about 25,000, which is really, really great. Okay, and let's go for these. And let's see if this guy, he cannot see us from here, so good. We'll go for a charge drain over his direction. And 4,900, so almost 5,000. So it does not kill, but the backstab will definitely kill. Yeah, 11,500, that's most excellent. Okay, so let's go for Merciless Reaper. And let's see what this guy's going to do, if he's going to run over here. Nope. Okay, I thought he would run over here. Oh, we lost Merciless Reaper. Okay. So Queenslayer is notorious for being a one-shot build mechanic, and you can actually use it really, really well for adventuring as well. So 4,900. There we go. And there we go. Now the reason I have Merciless Reaper is not because of the Bewitching Thorn, but because of the Graceful Prominence, as it pairs with that, and it doesn't pair with the Bewitching Thorn, but we have it anyways. Okay, so let's go for Jack. And we'll go ahead and kill this guy from range, or from distance. I mean, it's not really range. And, yep, 7,500, so that's great. Go for time crunch, so we can get more of these available to us, more charge drains. And let's maneuver our way over here. There we go, 7,800, excuse me. And because this is a katana-based sort of a weapon, it does a 4-hit combo, while at the same time leaving you kind of defenseless on the 4th strike before you actually land that 4th strike. So it's kind of a high-risk, high-reward kind of a weapon. Okay, so let's go for this guy. Jack, get out of the way, I can't see. And my wings are in the way. I think that's far enough. Yep, 9,500, that's really good. And you can see that we definitely don't have a whole ton of Ichor doing this, so we kind of have to treat our victims with respect every time we go for an attack, unlike that. As you can see there, as soon as we lose a whole bunch of our gifts, we don't do a whole lot of damage anymore. So you gotta pick your battles and choose them wisely. Okay, whoops. That guy's throwing darts at us. So let's go for a drain on him, and we actually hit him, so that's really good. And we'll head on over here, and this guy hopefully doesn't see us. And we'll go for him at a distance here. Oh, he saw us. There we go. 5,000. That's still really good damage. Oh, okay. And then we'll head on in here. There we go, get a backstab, we get iframes. So this is kind of a pick your poison. Which blood code do you like? Which veil do you like? What type of veils do you like? You know, so on and so forth. Okay, so that's Queenslayer. We can run the Graceful Prominence, but it's more of a little bit of the same. And we'll head on over to Hephaestus now. So this is why I kind of wasn't. I was a little bit confused why people didn't enjoy the DLCs from a item perspective. Maybe you know, there's something I didn't understand. But when playing with these, you can see that it's really overpowered in a kind of goofy kind of a way. But you know, whatever. Who am I to argue with, you know, 10,000 people about why something is the way it is? But I really enjoy him. You know, I mean, look at that, 15,000. There's not another Blood Veil in the game right now that can do this, and so it's really impressive that this is we have access to this. Okay, so for Hephaestus, let's go this way. Now, Hephaestus is an interesting blood code, as it looks almost exactly similar to Queenslayer, but we have access to morale boost, whereas Queenslayer does not. So we can go for more stamina reduction kind of options, which is really great. Now, since we are running the what is this? The Thorn. Well, we can go for charge drains if we can. If these stupid dogs would let us. I'll poke it in the back there. Jack's still doing things over there with that guy. Okay. Yeah, these dogs. And if we hide on this side of the cart, we can absolutely use the environment there to our advantage. So let's go ahead and heal. Okay, so then on backstabs, as you can see, the Graceful Prominence also continues to shine. I mean, there's 19,000 on a backstab. And these guys, remember, are weak to slash, not pierce. So if we were actually attacking an enemy that was weak to pierce, this would absolutely wreck their day. Okay, so let's go for Jack. So we double our damage now, and hopefully I can get a backstab on this guy again. There we go. Let's see the damage number. Oh, where'd the damage number go? Okay, that guy's dead. Okay, well, whatever. we'll continue on like this. And with Jack, we have a double morale boost, so we get really, really, really good damage. Okay, come on, everybody.
Don't let them get behind you.
Okay, let's see if we can go for multiple guys here at once. Nope. Okay. Oop. Okay, let's go for a drain. Okay, nobody's having it. Let's go for a backstab on this guy. Now, the nice thing about the pipe is you get all the damage from the blood code out of the drain attacks. So you know for sure that you are doing drain damage rather than weapon damage. Okay, let's go ahead and head on over this way. We'll backstab this guy with Jack's communal active. 23,000. Okay, that's really, really good damage. Kill this guy. And we'll kill this guy. There we go. And see, now you're noticing the cap of Hephaestus, where 40 is our max cap. And we'll get a drain or a launch on this guy. So that's where Hephaestus has some real issues, is that you can only go to 40, and then you're kind of, you know, peaked out, tapped out here for all your gifts. But that's okay. Well, we always make it work, as the Graceful Prominence allows for a lot of damage on especially these kinds of ladies. 19,000 on a backstab, that's really good. And then 11,000 to finish it off. Okay. Okay. Now I want to go for a drain. Okay. There we go. And because the Graceful Prominence has actual range built into it, it's a really, really great blood veil. Except when you're trying to hit these dumb dogs. Okay, and Jack killed him anyways. Okay, so that's a little bit of, what is this? Hephaestus. Now let's head on to the last one for the Dexterity builds. And we'll be running Scout, paired up with a couple of different weapons here. So let's go to Scout, and we'll go for the Spines, the Master Spines. Sorry, not the Master Spines, the Bewitching Thorn. And we go for the Executioner, Alleviated, and the Libertador Intensified. Okay, so if we're running the Bewitching Thorn, we want to be going for the, what is that, the Executioner. And if we go for the Graceful Prominence, we want to be going with the Libertador Bayonet. So we'll go for the Master Spines and the Executioner. Not the Master Spines, I don't know why I keep saying that. Let's drink some water. Okay, so here we go with Scout. Now, you wouldn't think Scout also would be a you know, really strong build, but it definitely can hold its own, except when you get smashed in the face. So there's 20,000 on a backstab. Oops. And let's see what this number is. 25,000. Okay. So let's go ahead and heal out of this, because that was crazy. And let's go for Time Crunch. And let's go ahead and kill this guy. This should kill. Yep, 10,000. That's really good. Let's get a backstab. And what's the number on this guy? 22,000. That's also really good. So let's go for Gift Extension. Yeah, wake up. Let's kill that guy. And let's go for Concentration. And we'll backstab this guy and kill him. So Scout can be utilized to great effect, simply because it allows and affords for Dex of S and a Strength of B plus, or a Strength of B and a Dex of A plus. From the Strength and Dex up, we get another half step up. but we get really good damage on all the enemies, and also we have access to the Executioner, which has a continuous striking pattern. So if we get into a scrape with somebody and have some issues dealing with some of the enemies, then we can go ahead and just do slashing attacks with our weapon. Oh, come on. Come on. Oh my goodness. So there you can see the Executioner helped us out significantly, simply because we were just continuing to slash our way down through all the enemies there, which is really good stuff. Okay, getting a bunch of sunset swords here. So this guy's over here. Yep. So we will. Oh. Okay. We'll just go for a backstab and kill him. So you can see that when we're paired up here with Cleansing Light, we have really good longevity built into our fights, as we can take a lot of damage before we have any real problems. And when we're paired up with the Executioner, we get really good damage. And let's go for another combo drain. Good. That's good stuff. Okay, so now we got our Overdrive and Somatic Zeal active. So we will have to wait for this guy to run over here. Oh, and we'll go for a backstab and we'll kill him. Most likely outright. So 11,500 without being paired up with Jack, which is excellent. And on a drain, we do what was that? 70 or 5,000. Okay, so 5,000 is pretty good stuff as well. As we can just run in here and do a couple of slashes. So if you like the Executioner as a blade, this might be the go-to build for you if you're trying to do max damage on backstabs and such. But as soon as you get to enemies that resist Pierce in a heavy way, or you start bossing against areas that don't do well versus versus Pierce damage, then you're going to be in a really difficult way no matter what. Okay, I need to move my legs here a little bit. Okay, so those are the decks. That concludes the dex builds, I guess you could say. So let's see. Let's head on over to which one here? Okay, the dark builds are next. And the dark builds, so from here on out, I don't have 6 blood codes for every veil. I will leave the rest up to the audience to just take it and go with it from here. But the next 2 are going to be, oops, I picked the wrong tab. So here we go. So the next one is Queen's Ribcage. Queen's Ribcage. And we run with the intensified Sub-Zero Shroud. Now the reason is because for the Sub-Zero Shroud, now we're out of the Strength and Dex builds, so now we're into the Willpower Dark Gifting only. This is not any kind of damage to come out of the Blood Veil, as you can see here, compared to the 2, 3, 4, 5,000 damage on the card for the Drain attack that we were getting before with the Strength and the Dex codes, Dex Veils. Now we're down into the almost negative numbers, but we have pretty good Drain rating, and we could pair up with a Devourer to get 9. What is that? 9 times 1.87. 9 times 1.87 is almost 17 Ichor back on a backstab, which would be great. And if you pair up, you only get a little bit out of the Blood Veil damage, so 456 versus 182 it's just not worth it. So the Sub-Zero Shroud is a completely different animal than what we were having before. Now the Venus Claw is a pre-DLC. It was a pre-order thing, so it is kind of DLC, and it sort of operates in the same way as the other DLCs, just to a little bit lesser extent than the actual DLC Strength and Dex Veils, but a little bit more than the regular Veils in the game. So if you have the Venus Claw, it operates on the same examples and principles of what we've shown here today. And we're going to be going for the Brionac Alleviated, as the Brionac has the highest Ichor Drain rating out of any weapon in the game. This is what we're going to be running, and because we're going to be Dark Gifting only, we will definitely make extreme use of that. Now we switch our people here, and we're no longer with Jack, but we run with Eva. I like the red dress and the black dress. These are my two favorites. I don't particularly like the alternate pantsuit type things, but you know, to each their own. This is what I typically run, is Dark Eva. I really like this version. So this is completely different now. We don't want to be going for any kind of backstabs unless we need Ichor. We're not doing anything for backstabs to get damage. Okay, so let's go for Eva. And we'll go for Gift Extension to make it last longer. So we get 2 and a bit Ichor back on a... Oh, I don't know what that was. So we'll go for a backstab here. Good, and Mind and Willpower. Okay, and I feel like something's wrong here. Okay, and we'll just get some Ichor back here, and we'll go for Twilight, and that completely annihilates. So what I feel like oh, we don't want to go for Dark Shout. I wanted to go for Hasten. Silly me. So let me fix that in the build list here. Here we go. Okay, I will edit that and put. Let me make a note here for Queen's Ribcage to put Hasten. Now you can go for the 50% damage from Dark Shout. That's very nice and can be, you know, useful. But I prefer the quick mobility possibility. So you can choose, you know, what to do here. Hasten for Queen's Ribcage. Okay, I'll fix that in the description so everybody's looking at the same thing after I'm done here. Okay, which could still be a while. So if you don't have any water or anything like that, go ahead and pick that up. Now, the reason also Dark Shout might be useful is that when you use Blood-Sucking Blades, it scales off of your dark value on the card here, and Dark Shout increases that value significantly. And so for a short amount of time, you can have a much higher Ichor Drain rating available to you. So we're out of the quick mobility by default. But we're into the normal mobility, which is still pretty significant. I would take normal mobility, that's fine. And let's go for another backstab. Oh. Or we'll just go for some Ichor ups there. So here's Blood-Sucking Blades, and we're at 1.53. And if we pop Dark Shout, we're at 1.64. So it increases the ability. And we'll just kill this guy. So there's 11,593. So Eva and I are a pretty strong force to be reckoned with, as the Sub-Zero Shroud has the highest dark value in the game. So let's go ahead and put him down. And we'll go for an assault on him. And we'll run on in here, and we'll get everybody all riled up. And the reason being is we'll do this, and then we'll go for a Twilight. Oh, come on. Thank you, Eva. Now we don't do any damage almost with our Veil or with our weapon, it's all based on actual damage that we do from our gifts. Okay, so let's go for Twilight, and we'll kill everybody downstream there. Almost everybody, I guess. And we'll go for a backstab if we can. So that is where Twilight from the Queen's Ribcage is absolutely devastating, is the fact that you can get multiple enemies since it's a piercing dart gift. It's just overwhelmingly powerful when paired up here with the Sub-Zero Shroud. And since we have 2 sets of gift prowess, or 3 sets of gift prowess, sorry, from paired up with Eva here, she gives us a gift prowess. We give ourselves 1, and then we have increased gift speed from our passive. So we have really fast and quick gifts that we can be used. And we'll go for backstabs. So the only reason we're going for backstabs again, remember, is just to get Ichor. And we don't need it for any other reason. But when you're paired up with Eva, you get a 50% Ichor drain rating ability, so we're up to 2.45 now. And if we go for Dark Shout, 2.59, so pretty good stuff. Okay, so let's go for a backstab on this guy, or just go for some damage, and we'll go for a Twilight here, and it just wrecks his day. So if you're looking for a really strong Blood Veil that does really good, dark damage, this is definitely the go-to if you can swing it. But you'll notice here that we're at 102 out of 105, so we're right there at the edge, while also being able to, damage the enemy and take our time, kind of getting backstabs and such. So here we go, and we'll go ahead and get some Ichor back, and you can see there that we drain Ichor in extreme ways. Okay, so let's go for this guy, and we'll go for him, and it'll kill the dogs down at the other end since it's a piercing gift. It's just unbelievable amounts of damage that come out of Twilight, when we're paired up with Eva. So, okay, we can go for this guy, get a backstab, and then we will go for Eva's Communal. And this is when things get a little crazy, because Execution will be absolutely destroying these guys. Can I get a backstab? Nope. Okay. Oops. I want a backstab. Okay. And we will go for an execution on this guy just to get rid of him. Okay, Eva's gonna kill him. And we'll go for Eva's Communal now. And we will go for some Ichor back here. Okay. Oops. And the problem with Eva's Communal is it makes everything really expensive. Oops. I used the wrong button there. But that's okay, because we have lots and lots of Ichor ability. Okay. So let's kill this guy. And we'll kill this guy. Oh, or we'll miss him altogether. But since our drain ratings are all up 50%, we get lots of Ichor on an actual weapon strike, and we get lots and lots of Ichor on backstabs. Okay. Okay. Now the reason I'm doing this is because I want to do this and that. And we have really good resistance with the Sub-Zero Shroud, as it has really good damage resistances all around. It's pretty high. Get out of here, Lost Shard. 51, 45, 48. So it's really high, really high damage resistance. Okay, so let's go for Twilight on her, and it's a one-shot. How excellent! And let's, we killed both dogs. Most excellent. Okay, and we'll go for just more Ichor back from the dog, and then we'll finish him off with an execution. There we go. So we have extremely high Dark Gifting ability. Now you can pair this up with a lot of different gifts, obviously. You can pair it up with pretty much anything that's to your pleasure, but these are pretty good AoE kind of gifts, even though they're directed forwards. Okay, so the next one on the dark listing is Harmonia. And same thing, we run the Brionac, and we run the Sub-Zero Shroud, and before we were at 1770, 17 something, 29 or whatever. This is a little bit higher because we start out at an S willpower, and we go up a little bit higher with Cognitive Zeal. And yeah, so same thing here, you can switch out Dark Shout for Hasten if you wish, but again we have to go for Revenant's Ambition, and we won't be having the same amount of Ichor drain. We'll be getting about 7 or 8 Ichor on a backstab now, instead of the amount we were getting before. But now instead of Twilight, we're paired up with Hoarfrost Stream, and we don't necessarily need Eva's Communal, or sorry, the gift of Supernatural Blood, simply because we're just going for Ichor back and drains. Okay, and since she is pretty resistant to slash, execution does not really do it for her, but yeah, this gift, Hoarfrost Stream, is definitely her bane of existence here. Okay, so then these guys, again, now we don't need to do a ton of damage from these guys, because our Blood Veil is just our Ichor recall item, and we'll go for some strikes here to get some Ichor back, and there's 18,000. So again, we're not doing backstabs or drain attacks to get our massive damage, but we are definitely doing gifts that do massive damage. So that's the entire point of running the Sub-Zero Shroud, is you have extremely high Ichor abilities. Okay, let's go for Blood-Sucking Blades, and that helps Eva as well. So let's go for some Ichor drain on this guy, and we'll do this, and we'll get everybody riled up. And Hoarfrost Stream will absolutely wreck everybody's day here. Okay. There we go. That was 5 guys. And the second twirl around didn't even get a chance to hit anyone. But yeah, it's an excellent crowd reducer of a gift. I guess you could call it that. And then we go for an execution and slash this guy down. So now, because we're playing into the weakness of these guys of blood and slash, these guys just don't stand a chance. Okay, and so if you play a little bit more deliberate with these guys, you can dodge around, and you can get huge amounts of Ichor back from them, simply because you're not doing a whole lot of damage. So one guy, every guy becomes like a farm to be able to help you get more and more Ichor back. There we go. And the swing around will kill this guy, 12,000 damage on him. So that's a little bit about Harmonia running the Sub-Zero Shroud. So that, remember, the Sub-Zero Shroud is the highest ice defense veil in the game, and it's also the highest dark willpower based blood veil in the game. So if you pair it with a Pheon Chrome, you get the highest ice defense out of any blood veil in the game. So that's definitely something to look out for, especially if you're in the Ridge of Frozen Souls fighting the Boreal Brutes, or you're fighting the Blade Bearer and Cannoneer. Let's drink a little more water. Okay, so we're done now with the strength, dex, and willpower based setups. So now we are going to go into the hybrids. So this hybrid is going to be Queen's Claw, which I will need to set up here since it's a little bit of a change. Where's Queen's Claw? From what we had before. And we also run the Master Spines. So the Master Spines is a hybrid dark backstab kind of a blood veil. As you can see here, it has the same backstab potential of the Bewitching Thorn. It's half the weight almost of the Bewitching Thorn. What is it? This is 12 and this is 23, so it's half the weight. And it has paired into the dark gifting as well, so it allows you and it affords you the ability to do a hybrid dark kind of gifting ability. So you can go for so what we're going to be going for is the Blazing Claw, and this puts us right at 40 out of 80. So you can go for a Devour if you want more I-Core back. Since you're going to be doing a dark gift, this might be the better way to go, but if you're doing resistances, you might go Flame, whatever you want. Just don't go for the Fortified, as that puts you into normal category, so that's kind of a bad thing. So let's see here. Let me get this set up, and we'll be on our way. So this one needs to change for Avarice. Okay, and then this guy changes to Dex and Willpower. Good. And we still keep Sharpened Fangs, that's fine. And then we go for Execution, and what's that one? Blast Bolt. Oops. This guy goes for, oops, sorry. Blast Bolt is here. And then Eva, and Merciless Reaper, and then Gift Prowess. Okay. Gift Prowess, Gift Extension. What were these? Mind and Willpower, and Cognitive Seal, and Overdrive. Okay, so this is the Queen's Claw hybrid, since you're dark gifting and backstabbing all at the same time. So we can go for Eva's Communal, and we can go for Gift Extension. Now this won't help us too much here. We just need to go for some backstabs. And we're getting 13 on a backstab. That's excellent. Since we have so much backstabbing potential to do. But we're still doing 10,000. And if we go for another backstab, let's see what this is. 12,000. So that's still pretty good ability there. And if we run over here, and we hit him with a blast bolt, that kills. Oh. Okay. Okay. And, oh, I got a backstab on a guy that's dead. Or, oh, that was just a camera problem there. Okay. So let's go for this. And let's go for a combo. See what we get. And we'll kill him. So we have, this is a much faster kind of a build as a hybrid, since you're doing drains and you're doing backstabs and you're doing dark gifting. So your drains and your charge attacks and everything, they do really good damage regardless. So let's go for a combo. There we go. And since we're dark gifting, we'll run here, hit him with a blast bolt. Okay, we'll hack him down. Ooh, I did not think that was going to hit me. Okay, let's go for a backstab. And let's go back up and hit him with an execution, as that, you know, is where a lot of our damage can come from in this area specifically, is from execution. Let's hit him with a blast bolt and an execution. Good. And now we'll run over this way, and we'll go for a drain, or a launch attack. Oh, come on. There's death number 3. I didn't dodge quite quickly enough. But you can see that Queen's Claw, it allows for a much quicker type of a gameplay, so if you're interested in a little more fast type of a setting, then you can definitely run something like this, where you're hybrid gifting back and forth. And the second weapon you can go for is the alleviated Crimson Longsword if you so happen to have that in your arsenal.
Thanks.
Okay, and the reason we go for Merciless Reaper is because of our gifts, not because of our Blood Veil. If I can actually get a backstab and put it down on her here. Okay. Come on, lady. So if you're dark gifting in a different way, where you have something like some of the Pierce gift abilities and different things, you can go for Merciless Reaper to help you out. Whoops. Okay. Eva's on a roll here with her blood gifting. We'll get a backstab on this guy and kill him. Good. And then this guy will just run over here and chop him down. Or Eva will kill him for us. Not a problem. Okay, so let's go ahead and head back here, and let's see. Let's go ahead and get everybody riled up. Let's pick up our haze. Good. There's a lot of guys there. So every time you run execution, whoops, we missed them. Okay. You can see that execution can be a great crowd control kind of a weapon here. If you, oh come on, if you can kill the enemy correctly, then you can have a great time doing really good damage on the enemy, simply because execution is an AoE, and it's not a direct enemy attack.
Well,
So
let's move on.
you're right, Eva. Let's move on. So that's this area running Queen's Claw as the hybrid with the Master Spines, as this has fairly low defenses all around. So this is definitely a more don't get hit type of a thing, obviously. But when you're paired with Eva and you get the 50% bonus from your dark gifts here, it's definitely worth it's definitely worth a look. Okay, so let's head on to the next one. The next hybrid is Hephaestus. So I have to do a little bit of manipulating here to get this set up. So our weapons of options now are the same thing here. So we can go for an intensified if we wanted, or a stun build, or something like that. We'll keep the drain rating here. And where's Hephaestus? Okay. And this goes for Avarice, and not Dex and Fortitude, but we need to go for Dex and Willpower. Up. And same thing here. We go for Execution, and we go for Blast Bolt. You can change these around. It doesn't really matter. But the whole point of it is that you go for gifts that pair up with different things correctly, like Merciless Reaper with some of the gifts that are around, or with your Blood Veil. But since we're running the Master Spines, the Blood Veil doesn't really help us out too much considerably. Okay, so now that we're with the Argent Wolf gun here, the Argent Wolf bayonet, we will be able to get Ichor back fairly okay at 0.41, but as we pair up with Eva here, our drain rating will go up, and this will allow Hephaestus to be actually useful for 0.61. So there you go. And if we run over here, and we can dodge her, and since we're quick again all the time, no matter what we do, we can go ahead and get a couple of backstabs here, since that's why it's a hybrid. And we can hit her with a Blast Bolt and put her down. Okay, so let's go for Mind and Willpower up, Cognitive Zeal. And since this guy's going to try and hit us, we'll go for a backstab. so that's kind of where the Master Spines is useful, is that you can go for, oops, you can go for drains, you can go for dark gifts,
It's hard to see
all at the same time.
impulse.
Whoops. Okay, we killed that guy over there. That was really interesting. And we'll go ahead and go for a backstab here on this guy. So our weapon typically is not really that useful. It's, you know, we can definitely use it as a gun and at range and such, but that's not where the effectiveness comes from. So one regular shot there costs 3 ichor from being paired up with Eva's Communal, so that's a real problem. Okay, so let's go for this guy. Good, and we'll get a backstab on him. So this is the Master Spine, and it's an extremely light blood veil. And again, it looks exactly like the Night Thorn. Oh, whoa. And as you can see, we have no resistance really to getting hit. I mean, look, that was about half our health. We can't even heal back that much. That's how much damage that was. Come here, buddy. Okay, your friend is more interested. Okay, and because we have overdrive active, it allows our backstabs to be even more damaging. Hi, Megatech. Yeah, this is going to be a long one, so watch it when you have nothing else to do in your life, and Corona's gone, and, you know, all of that. This is already 2 hours in, and we're not even done yet. We're still in the hybrids. We've got a little bit more to go in the hybrids, and then we'll be done. We'll probably be about 2.5 hours on this. But thanks for stopping by. Hope you sleep well and have a good day tomorrow, whatever you might be doing. Okay, so if we go for Eva again, it will increase our drains, and then we can hit this guy with an execution. And because everything is more damage, 50% more damage, and Eva's out of ichor apparently, then we can get massive drain rating on our blood veil, and we get also huge damage on the enemies, simply because we're going to be you know, paired up with Eva's Communal here, Ephemeral Refrain. Okay, so that's a little bit about running the hybrids here. Okay, so that was the dark hybrids. So that was Queen's Claw and Hephaestus as hybrids. Again, these are gifting and backstabbing or drain ability. So when you get the Master Spines, that's kind of how you should be thinking about these different veils. Okay, and the next one we have is also a dark gift hybrid as well. So we go back to Queenslayer, and since that's a overlap from what was that? The Queenslayer was a Dex build. That was I believe that Queenslayer was the Dex one. Yeah, Queenslayer was a Dex. So now I'm gonna have to set up for Queenslayer here. So give me a minute, just bear with me. Okay, and this changes to Revenant's Ambition, and we get a Strength and Willpower, and then we go for the Ruinous Chevalier. So this is from DLC 1, and it shares the same sentiment as the Master Spines, as it is a dark hybrid damaging kind of a thing, veil. And the only problem is that we have to go for a pipe. I go for a Devour pipe, simply because I need as much drain rating as possible if I'm going to be hitting somebody, because we're not going for damage. So you'll notice here that we are exactly at 65 out of 130. This is the only way you can get to being quick on Queenslayer, at least. Again, I'm leaving all the rest of the details kind of up to the community. If you're interested in this kind of, if you're interested in actually, and you actually have the blood veils, then you'll be interested in kind of what we're going through here. Okay, so since we're going for dark, we want to go for execution again, go figure, and here we're going to go for a volatile storm, as that gives us great AoE capabilities, and then we go for ephemeral refrain, and merciless reaper, and dark shout. Since we're already at quick mobility, we will have the ability to dodge adeptly in and out of enemies. Mind and willpower, and then we'll go for gift prowess. Is that the Queenslayer? Yes. Okay, so this is the Queenslayer, and we'll go down this way this time. Actually, let's go for the big lady here.
Look at me, being threatened by a little boy. Looks tough.
And let's go for ephemeral refrain first. And that takes us down to oh, good grief. And since we are strength and willpower now, we are going to be wanting to go for all the strength abilities that we can go for. And since this is a slash veil, we're slowly getting up here. And we'll dodge that, and we'll go for another backstab if we can get it. Okay. And because we're paired up again with a Isis Chrome, we are going to be doing more damage than if we were without the Isis Chrome. So let's see the difference here. So here it is, we're at 1263, and here is 901, so it's almost a 400 damage increase, which translates to different amounts of damage on different amounts of enemies. So it's a significant damage reduction. Oops. Need that backstab. And so on a backstab for this guy, we're doing 6,500. That's fairly good. So the reason we're going for backstabs here is we're still trying to get up on I-Core. So let's go for this, and since he's blocking, we'll go for a volatile storm, and that'll almost kill him anyways. And we'll chop him down. Okay, so now the stupid doggies are here. There we go. We'll knock one down. Knock him down. So this is where the combo attacks of the Claw Veil come into play, simply because you need to get as much I-Core back as possible, but you also need to do damage, and you need to stagger the enemy as much as possible, because we don't have a whole lot of damage out of our Blood Veil when we're in kind of dangerous situations. But 6,500 is really good damage no matter what. Okay, I can never get this guy angled correctly. Okay, and here we go. We'll go for this guy. Good, and Eva killed the guy behind us, which is excellent.
The head and the tail are guiding them.
Okay, we'll get some I-Core back from this guy. Can I get a backstab? Nope. Okay, let's go for a drain. Okay, good job, Eva. And we'll go for a volatile storm on this crazy set of guys here. There we go. So that's why volatile storm is so effective in groups, is that we have the ability to kill multiple enemies all at once for fairly cheap. Okay, and let's go for the invasion here.
You choose the way. Should I just let you do the heavy lifting?
Sure, that sounds fine. Okay, and we'll go for this. What's this guy? Now we need to definitely get a gift going here as what is that? Sorry, my brain stopped. As Dark Shout is, kind of running out of time there. We need to get that going as fast as we can. So where are the enemies here? There's a stupid dog. Oh. Oh boy. Okay, let's go for a launch. I guess we're not going to get the Dark Shout off. Oh, here we go. There we go. We'll kill them. And we're going to backstab here. Good. So the Ruinous Chevalier has a very, very, very good defensive abilities. So I prefer it if I can on different attacks with guys, because it has such high defensive abilities, and as you see there on some of these littler guys, we have really good damage as well. Oh boy. And we're definitely going to cut this guy down. And that's where execution can really help you and save you, is that 5300, that's not bad. And we can do a combo and take this guy down while getting Icor back all at the same time. So execution, since it is an AoE of sorts, it can really help you. But when we run things like this, come on, where's the backstab? No backstab. Okay. And anytime we have the ability to go for massive crowds like this, I mean, we just killed 3 guys there and we wiped out that entire area very quickly. So running kind of as a hybrid backstab dark gifting, I would prefer this over the Master Spine, but that's just me. Okay, she's gonna go for an attack. Good, and we'll go for another backstab here. So we have really good Icor stocks to go into a Volatile Storm, followed by a Execution. Good, and that should kill. And then here's the dogs. Oh, I missed both dogs, but we can do our combo drain. Okay, and the combo drain is excellent for the dogs simply because it knocks them down as a claw veil. Okay, so this guy will go for a backstab. So this is where the Ruinous Chevalier shines the most. Is a simple adventuring kind of a veil, as it does really good damage in both backstabs and dark gifting. It's a little bit higher than the Master Spines. It's not a spine veil, so you can't send it out at distance, and you have to use the pipe in order to get that quick mobility. You can do something different if you choose, but this is what I find to be the quickest, easiest, straightforward way. And you see here that our resistances are pretty high as they are, and our damage defense, our resistances for damage are very high, just straight out the gate, as compared to the Libertador, which is the same kind of dark gifting ability of the Blood Veil, but it has much less defenses and much less resistances, and much less balance, and these resistances here. So it's not my choice, but the Ruinous Chevalier comes at a high weight cost. So we're definitely going to have to get some more water here. So we're making our way through the dark hybrids currently right now. So we've done the strength, the dex, the pure dark, 1 hybrid dark, and now we're on to the second set of hybrid darks with the Ruinous Chevalier. Alright, see ya, Rivers. Have a good night. Be safe. Okay, so the next blood code we are going to be running is going to be Queen, for those that have gotten all the perfect endings and such. I'm going to have to do a little bit... oh wait, no, Queen is set up already, ready to go. Okay, so we still need the pipe, as that leaves us with quick mobility in weapon slot 1, and since we don't have any alternate for this blood veil, we go for the Sunset Bayonet Alleviated, as that puts us directly at the halfway mark of, literally at the halfway mark of the blood veil here. So since we used the pipe before, we'll use the Sunset Bayonet this time. Okay, and we'll go for the invasion again. First, let's check this lady up here, how well we do. Okay, and we'll go for a gift extension so it lasts longer. And because we have a bayonet, we also are afforded the ability to do distance damage to the enemy. So let's go for a backstab again. Good. And we'll go for another backstab. Whoops. now we need some ichor from this fine specimen here, so we can go for a Hoarfrost stream, or we can go for a Hoarfrost stream now. So 13,000. That's really, really good damage on her. And we'll see how we do in the invasion here in a group setting. Okay, so let's head on down the ladder, and let's forgive our sins there at the missile. So the Angel of Death has only died 3 times, so she's been giving us a fairly good demonstration here of what we need to be thinking about. And 6149, so that's still really good damage. It's not as good as what we were doing with Queenslayer, but it's pretty good still nonetheless. Okay, and let's go for this, and we'll go for a Hoarfrost here and kill both dogs, because I hate the dogs. So that does really, really high damage overall. So now we're going to have to go for backstabs on these guys to get our ichor back. And as you can see, we're getting about 9 back on a backstab. Or no, we get exactly 9, because our drain rating is 1, and times 9 is 9. So I can do math. Okay, so good, we're back up to 28. Let's go for Eva's Communal, as we have gift extension and everything else available. So let's kill this guy, and let's see what this guy, okay, and we definitely need a backstab if we can get it, if Eva's gonna let us. Nope. Okay, let us get it. Okay, and let's see if we can get a backstab. There we go. And what is that? I guess he done? Yep. Okay. So here we go. And we'll do a Hoarfrost stream, and everybody's just gonna die instantaneously, which is most excellent. So before the invasion starts, let's get this guy. Okay, and that'll put us into good territory for the invasion here. Good job, Eva. And we can go for a Hoarfrost stream and all kinds of things right out the gate here. So you can see that Queen holds its own extremely well. In fact, I would prefer Queen over Queenslayer, simply because of this right here. Hoarfrost stream is exceptionally damaging. So let's go. Oh, not the stupid dogs again. Yes, I know. I need to find out where the enemies are so I don't get sliced in the back. There we go. And the more backstabs we get, obviously, you know, it continues to do more damage to the enemy. And that was a complete waste, unfortunately, of a gift there. Let's get a drain on this guy, or a launch, so then we can go ahead and apply. We don't have enough. Come on. There we go. There we go. Hoarfrost stream. And that'll kill everybody here, which is really, really good. Let's go ahead and heal up, because we're getting pretty close to the end of the invasion here, and this guy's here now. Okay. Now we need to be really careful with this guy, but we definitely have really good damage that we can put out, but if he stuns us like that, we're gonna die really quick. Okay, so not a bad invasion. We used a whole bunch of healing. What was that? 4 healings, and we could probably go for 1 more, but you know, that's kind of how it goes sometimes. Okay, so let's get a backstab on this guy, and this will not kill him since we're not running the Dex abilities, but we do still significant damage. So let's go for a drain. Good. 5,500, I guess, on a drain, which is respectable. Let's see what we get here. Oh, 26, 28. Yeah, so it's pretty pathetic. Never mind. So you want to definitely be going for the backstabs and those kinds of things. Let's kill these guys. But you can see that in our dark gifting abilities, I mean, we're really, really powerful, which is good. We definitely need to be powerful. Now you can pair this up with a bunch of consumables if you need to. You know, that's kind of irrelevant, as you know, you can choose what kind of consumables you want at different times. Okay, we'll get another backstab here, and then we'll go for a Hoarfrost Chain, and we will completely burst her down. Now, because it's going sideways, oh, it didn't kill the dogs? Okay. Okay, and because Eva's just a powerhouse here, and we'll just slap the dog around. Oh, I missed the dog twice. How's that possible? Okay, so you can see that we have really good dark gifting paired up with our backstab ability. I mean, I know this is kind of the beginning of the game, but I mean, this only scales, you know, later on in the game really well. And because execution has such a quick cooldown, even if you miss the sweet spot like I did right there, you still have pretty good damage on a backstab if you can get it, and you still have pretty good damage overall, regardless. Okay, so that was the second set of hybrids of dark backstabbing, and let's see, what are we? We are going to be running. Here we go, and now we are on to the light backstab hybrids. So we're going to be running Isis, and we're going to be running the Daybreak Thunderfang. And as you can see, our gift ability is really high, as well as our drain rating is fairly respectable at 1309. And we're going to be running the Dex Hammer Alleviated, the Hellfire Hammer Alleviated, because no matter what, sorry, what am I saying? Oh, because we want to go for massive Ichor regeneration, and the Dex Hammer is really good at recovering Ichor on a charge attack, because it's 4.5 times the drain rating, and we can actually make use of it, and we have to go down to 50. We have to go down to 50 or 49. What's 20% of this? My brain's getting tired. So 49.8 is 20% of our 249 weight limit here, and since the Daybreak Thunderfang is where's it, 77 pounds, we're never ever gonna get light or quick on this unless we go for hasten, which is why we have hasten mixed into the bunch here. So that's the whole reason we're gonna be going for the charge attack on the Hellfire Hammer, as it has really good drain, and when paired up with Eva, it has even better drain. So we'll go for Eva's Communal. We'll see how we do on the big lady. She's always kind of our test dummy here, as she has, you know, a lot of issues and problems. So, whoops. And also with our, oh, good grief. And also with our hammer, we have really good knockdown ability. So if we, there's a knockdown. Okay, and let's go for a backstab before she gets crazy, since we can do backstabs. And let's go for a Cloak of Winter. So that's really good damage on her. So let's go ahead and heal up. Now let's go for Hasten. Now let's go ahead and heal again. And we can switch to the Broadsword, as that is our other weapon of choice here for drains. Now we need to go for backstabs and weapon attacks for drains to get, you know, lots more Ichor. Oh, good, we got backstab. And the Daybreak Thunderfang has really good, really good damage resistance. And let's go for Cloak of Winter on this guy. So that was 11,000. Let's go for a drain on this guy and a backstab. So Cloak of Winter has an extremely long animation time, which is why when you're paired with Eva, it can do really good damage, simply because it comes out much quicker. Okay, so because we have Merciless Reaper active, we can go for a charge drain, but then as soon as we use Thunderbolt Impact, Merciless Reaper goes away. So it's a kind of a use at your own risk if you want to get anything out of it. Come on. and see, we can take several hits from these guys, no problem, as we had a real problem with this area earlier. As we are now, we don't have that much of a problem. So we can get everybody riled up here. Oh, looks like everybody already left the building here. So I guess we'll just go for some backstabs and get some Ichor back. And we'll go for a Cloak of Winter. There we go. And then when this guy gets up, if he gets up, we'll go for a launch on him. Oh, no. Okay. We'll go for a launch on this guy maybe. Or just kill him outright. So 8600 in a giant AoE around us. That is very, very acceptable. Very, very enjoyable. Okay, so let's go for a gift extension and overdrive. So that way we get more damage on this guy. And we get some Ichor there. And we're back to normal mobility. So we definitely need to take our time here if we want to wait for Hasten to come back. So we'll kill these both. So they're like 9,000 on each guy. So Isis, as a light dex, I guess you could say, backstab drain paired in with light gifting is pretty good. So we'll check out the hammer as we go down here for the invasion. Since we have 2 AoE gifts, anytime we come up against enemies where we get cornered or surrounded, excuse me, we can do really, really good damage to those guys. And the dogs are no exception, and especially since we have the ability to do massive damage and knockdown from our hammer. Okay, let's go for a Cloak of Winter. Cloak of Winter. There we go. Bridge to Glory does not. Bridge to Glory. Oh, hi Servo. Welcome back. Bridge to Glory is a weapon only weapon. Damage type. It only does a base increase, I believe, of 12% for any weapon, and then it scales off of light after the fact. So you're kind of coming in at the tail end here. I'm sorry about that, but that's okay. You can check back and see all the craziness that ensued here. And so we'll go for a Thunderbolt Impact and kill these guys straight away. And we'll go for a charge attack on this guy. And we'll knock him down. And we get really, really good damage out of all that. And this is most exceptional up here, as you can just run in and do this. And if Eva would not have knocked that guy down, we would have killed him. So when you're light gifting, you definitely want to make sure you have access to Thunderbolt Impact if you can help it at all, because it's just so good. So let's go ahead and kill this stupid dog. And Cloak of Winter is a pretty good dart gift, but it definitely suffers in some different ways, simply because of the fact that it has a very, very, very long cooldown time. Oops. Okay, where are the guys? They're there. So let's go for a Thunderbolt Impact, and that's the invasion. Isis just kind of made this look like a joke. Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy how effective this can be. Okay, so that's the first of the light Dex hybrids. So then we'll move on to the last but not least blood code of the game, or of the series here that we're going to do for the DLC blood codes, and we'll still run the Dex hammer, but now we switch to the Fulmin blade, and you can do fortified or devour. You can do any Fulmin blade you want, it doesn't matter. I'm going for the Fulmin blade fortified simply because it's a blocking, and we haven't done any blocking for any of the blood codes, any of the blood veils, or anything we've been doing. And you'll notice here we have Heroic Fang as paired also with Sharpened Fangs. So we're going to be doing pretty good backstab and drain damage if we can get to that point. Now if we want to, we can keep Merciless Reaper, or we can go for Time Crunch. We might want to go for Time Crunch simply because of the fact that we want to get our drain attacks out faster, and the 30% damage is better than the 75% damage reduction, simply because as soon as we use Thunderbolt Impact, it goes away. For whatever reason, that interaction is there, but it's kind of sad that that's the case, but that is the case. Okay, so let's go for Eva. Let's do our test run on this guy, or this lady up here, and see everything costs 50% more Ichor, so that's why we need to have a ton of Ichor regeneration. And we'll just get this backstab here, and we'll see what our damage output is. 6,000, so that's more than what we had before. Okay, and we have really good stagger built into this weapon, and we even have knockdowns like that. So it affords us a lot of utility, as we go through. So nobody had any questions. I don't even know if anybody was watching. So that's really good. Apparently everybody's a pro at this, which is good. So I don't have to answer any questions. You look smart as soon if nobody asks you any questions. So that's really good for me, as I can kind of muddle my way through here. Okay, so we'll go for a backstab on this guy, since our backstabs are actually pretty powerful. So 6,000, that's really good, and we can go for 25% more. And let's go for a charge and kill him in one hit. Oh, Mia. There we go. Mia. Or Eva. Eva. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's go for this Time Crunch, and we can go for charge drain here. 4,000. So that would be 8,000 if both Hound's heads hit, which is really good damage. So 9,000 on a backstab. That's really good. And let's get some Ichor here. Good. And then we'll run in here and we'll do a Thunderbolt Impact and kill both of these. 11,000. That's pretty exceptional. I would take that. And let's go for a charge. Knock him down. Okay. And this time we will go for a Cloak of Winter. Never mind. Thunderbolt Impact it is. Goodbye, everybody. Okay, and let's go for a launch. And let's go for a charge. Knock him down. Okay, so that was a completely failed Cloak of Winter, and you can see that the what is that? The startup animation of it is exceptionally rough. We have a really hard time getting Cloak of Winter out, simply because it it's such a hard, difficult gift to get that animation off in time. Okay. And we'll switch to our Fulmin Blade here, as this is a blocking weapon. So there's a block. And remember, we need 20 weapon strikes in order to get focused, if we want to do anything with focus. So let's go ahead and back up here. Okay. And let's go for a Cloak of Winter. There we go. Cloak of Winter is the only Ice Crush gift in the game, so it's kind of unfortunate. Whoa, what just happened there? Okay, let's go for a Cloak of Winter. See how long that animation is? It's extremely long. It's problematic and can get you into a lot of trouble in a lot of ways, but it's still a really good gift. Okay, Thunderbolt Impact, and that should end. So Volley is a pretty good blood code. I really enjoy it, especially if you're light dexing. Since it's got S+. Since it's got S in both mind and dex, you can do really good backstabs, and you have exceptional mind scaling. But there's not a whole lot of damage that you can go for otherwise. Okay, so let's go for Hasten. And we'll go for a drain here. Another drain. Okay, and let's kill this guy here. And let's go for a Thunderbolt Impact. And we'll kill these guys. This guy thinks he's calling people, which is really cute. Good. And again, we can block everything that these guys are throwing at us, except this lady, as she has a hammer. She has knockdowns and unblockables. So anytime you come up against an unblockable enemy, you have to figure out a better way. And backstabs are a really good way. And we can go for a Cloak of Winter on her. Not very effective since she's strong to crush. But she's fairly weak to our slash backstabs. And we, okay, good. We'll go for a Cloak of Winter here. And we'll drain down the dog here. And we'll go for a Thunderbolt Impact just to get rid of the dog. Okay, so this is where the Daybreak Thunderfang, again, you can go for on all of these blood codes, or sorry, on all of these blood veils, you can go for, you know, any kind of transformation you want. But from what I've experienced and what I've seen and what I've discovered, there's just no real reason to pick anything other than the element chromes on the DLC blood codes, or blood veils. Sorry. Let's drink some water. Simply because of the fact of, you know, just this insanely high damage that comes out of the backstab and drain attack potential paired with the gift ability that you get out of it. I mean, it's just crazy. So what I was talking about with the Venus Claw, you can see here that if we switch to it, it is indeed in a similar boat as the other blood veils, as it is a hybrid, but it's a little bit hybrid in such a way that it has a really high drain attack. But again, if you're going for a claw, you would definitely want to go for the Twilight Claw from the strength list that we had at the beginning. So, you know, you can kind of go that either way, but this is a dex scaling blood veil, as you can see here, dex and willpower. So it could give you an alternate option for the Master Spines or the Ruinous Chevalier, as it falls into that ballpark of, you know, kind of that hybrid of strength or dex and a willpower based setup. So you could go for something like, you know, Orion and run this thing and, you know, just get really high backstab potential. So that adds 540 to the blood veil for sharpened fangs. So backstabs just get out of hand when you run something like that. So that's Dan, if you're watching or are interested in watching, there's 2 hours 45 minutes of explanation of all the DLC blood veils and how they pair and how you would use them and how and why you would use them the way that we did. So I hope you all and everybody else, I hope you learned something from that and learned something about how they pair up and why you would go for you know, these kinds of chromes and such more than like a Devour. You can see the drop off there in drain attack. Intensified is not too bad. It's still above 1,000, but going for 1,400 while still having a little, you know, a really high respectable light gift ability, you know, that's kind of what it is. My favorite though is going for the strength in the Twilight Claw, simply because the drain attack ability is just like, it's just a crazy high number, and there's nothing higher than the Twilight Claw for drain attacks. Yeah, there's just, I mean, it's just a bonkers crazy thing. So hope you all enjoyed that, hope you all learned something, and I hope you can you know, go get these in the DLC and you know, make good use of them, as they have really good use cases and potential. I mean, we've killed bosses with the veils and the Graceful Prominence and the Violet gear and different things. So I mean, they have really good use case, really good utility, and they can be used in a variety of different ways to make sure that they are put to good use, and they are reskins in the sense of what they actually look like. I mean, this looks like just any other claw veil. So if I switch to this one, I mean, it looks exactly the same. It's just a different color, but the mechanics of it and the mechanics are the same, but the gifting and the drain attack and the backstabs are completely different, as well as the resistances and the damage abilities. So here 44 for slash, and for this 49. So it's, I mean, it's higher all around than a regular claw. It has double or half the blood, but it has you know, it's they're just different. They afford you, you know, the same kind of things from what we had before, but they afford you more ridiculous in different areas. So I think they're worth it. I think they were definitely worth my time investing into them and looking into them and playing with them and understanding them and choosing. I don't know how many blood codes we ran through tonight to look at, you know, which ones do which what and everything. So yeah, I hope everybody else can kind of enjoy those and share in the excitement of what they are and how to use them and how to take them to higher places. So that's my opinions and my experience with all the DLC blood codes and blood veils. Sorry, I keep saying blood codes. Blood veils, the clothing options that we got. Yeah, so that's how I go about using them and why I use them the way I do. So thank you all for watching. I hope you you know, can have a great rest of the week and weekend and whatever else, or not weekend, but whatever else you may be doing. You can just stay safe and do well. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in another episode.